Good afternoon, everybody. This is Fago Franklin III with New Stitch Media. Today, I am joined by former NFL fullback Chris Gronkowski. First and foremost, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's a little cold over here, so it's like 30 in Dallas, so I'm buttoned up a little bit.
And you look just like your brother, man. You just look just like him.
Hey, they say I sound like them. We look the same, man. The whole family, all five of us do.
Amen to that. So before we go into your NFL journey, I want you to give some encouraging words to all my followers and my viewers about what's going on in America. How can we stay positive during this unique time?
Man, yeah, for sure. So for me, man, I always just look to find ways to bring value to people. That's how I stayed positive through all this. Right when COVID hit, things got shut down. I was in the house, and I didn't know where business was going to go. The first thing that came to my mind was, how can I help out others? What can I do to bring value to anyone else out there that might be struggling as well? So, man, just lead with value, lead with stuff that you love, lead with passion, and everything's going to be all right. So that's what I got for you today.
Amen to that. Thank you for the encouraging words. So let's just jump into it. So, what inspired you to get into football in general?
Man, really, my older brother. Watched him become the high school quarterback, and thought it was the coolest thing ever, man. And so I didn't start playing, and none of us in our family started playing actually until high school. But watching my brother out there being the big man on campus, I just wanted to be like him, and that's why I started playing football.
So, who's the more competitive between y'all two? Is it Rob or you?
Man, so out of all five of us, oh man, this was a battle. This was a battle. So Rob's actually 2 years younger than me, and out of all the battles we had, it was always him and I that were just like the ultimate battles, man. So I probably most competitive, man. I probably give it to him, man, because to get where he's been at in football and to keep on pushing, that's an absolute grind, man. To wake up every day and grind it out and take that punishment on your body, but also that the physical, but also the mental as well, is a grind. So I'll give it to him, man, because those competitive juices are still flowing. It's still pushing him today. It pushed him to come back as well. So I'll give him that one today.
So what does it mean to you that you have family that supports everything that you do?
Man, it's really it's the best thing that you can have, man, is that support system. When times are tough, those are the people that you lean on. And when times are good, those are the people that you compete with. They push you to that next level, even when things are going well. So, when I played together with my family, I still say today, this is what pushed us to that next level, because there's no one that you want to impress more than your own family, than your own brother. There's no one that you could walk into the film room and say, hey, man, you've got to watch this play coming up. And at the same time, there's no one that's going to hold you responsible like your family is as well. So they can beat you up, and they can let you know the truth, and they can like no one else can. So, man, family's everything. And those people close to you, keep them close and listen to them and take advice from them.
So take me back to the NFL draft when you wasn't drafted. Were you upset? Was you frustrated? Did you punch a wall, a hole in the wall? What did you do?
Man, I might have put my head through the wall at the after party celebrating. But no, for me, it was really, I was always told it was a 1 in a million shot. You're not going to make it. You'll be lucky if one person in your family did. And I wasn't the best in my family. I wasn't the second best in my family. So what was the chances that I would ever make it? So I didn't really think it was going to happen for me. I went to school, I got the best education I could. And my game plan was really, let's play hard. Let's do the best I can. If the opportunity comes, I'm going to go all in. And so that's what happened for me. I knew on draft day I probably wouldn't get drafted, but I knew I'd probably get an opportunity. So I did. I got a call about 3 minutes after the draft ended. I got to sign with the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent. And that was my one shot, and I knew it. And that's when I said, hey, I am going all in on this one opportunity.
What was the feeling playing for the Cowboys? And when did it hit you that, hey, I'm in the NFL?
Man, I don't know when that feeling actually hit me. Playing for them, I mean, it's like it's not even true, man. It's kind of like imposter syndrome, right? Like, is this really happening? Am I really supposed to be here? And that's really how I felt, and that's how I had to treat every day as well. I had to treat every single day like I had to prove myself, and I did have to prove myself because, as a rookie, if you get cut, you're done. You're on the street. You're not getting paid. If you're not on the roster on a Wednesday, you're not getting paid that week. And so I had to treat each and every day like it could possibly be my last day out there. And man, at the end of the day, it's an amazing accomplishment. It's an amazing feeling, but man, it is an absolute grind as well.
Now I have to ask you about that block because everybody goes back and forth.
Yeah, man.
Do you regret, protecting Romo a little bit better?
So yeah, man. So I actually never got interviewed about it, which really comes back to the fact that no one actually knew it was me until afterwards. And what people don't know is what the actual game plan is in a game. Mm-hmm. So the game plan that week and the scouting report said, hey, these linebackers will never blitz unless they're walked up on the line. The scouting report also said they have really good DNs, and our game plan going into that week was, hey, check your guy, get out as fast as you can, give another lane for Romo to throw it to because we're starting a new left tackle today, and they have a really good DN. And so I actually did exactly what I was taught to do. I actually did it to the exact point that was taught to us. My guy was actually over the top of Jason Witten. He did what we call a green dog. He checked his man, who was actually the running back. He saw if he was staying in, and then he came. So he blitzed off the edge after a couple seconds. So he delayed blitz is what ended up happening. I chipped out. I got out into my route like I was supposed to, and the guy came late. Romo ended up throwing a 40-yard pass that took some time to happen. And during that, he got hit and, unfortunately got hurt. It's a play that happens every single game. Guys blitz for that opportunity or else they would never blitz. And, over and over veterans, veteran Pro Bowlers miss guys. And it's just really unfortunate that he got hurt on that play. And they found a really nice scapegoat in me after a 1-5 season. And it was really easy for them to blame it on me. So, I never got interviewed about it. And it's not that I cared or not, but, it was just unfortunate that everything got blamed on me.
I agree with that. So I know you had gotten injured, but you took that injury and made it something different. You turned it into more so a trial and error period with branding out being an entrepreneur. Tell me a little bit about, ice shakers.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I ended up playing, 3 years in the NFL, went into a 4th year. I got hurt, signed an injury settlement, and, that was it for me. So once that happened, man, one of the hardest transitions is going from an athlete to really anything else. That's all you know. You've been doing it since high school, and you have had no other job or job experience up to that point. So you also make good money, and now all of a sudden you're working for, $50,000 a year. I got really lucky. I had a good transition. My wife started a business when I was still playing. I went right into that, and it was really successful. So with that, I did it for about 5 years, but it was her passion. It wasn't mine. So I thought of this great idea for an ice shaker. Here it is right here. I got way too many of them sitting here, but really it was all about a passion of mine. It started as a side hustle. I love going to the gym still. It's all about living an active, healthy lifestyle. And when I was at the gym, I just realized, man, this bottle sucks that I have with me. It's plastic. It smells awful. It's sweating everywhere. I just wanted to find a way to make one bottle that I could bring to the office, but also bring to the gym, bring on the airplane, bring in the pool, that could also mix and blend powders or any drink that I want at any time. And so I went on this journey really to fulfill my own passion and find a way to kind of get back into the fitness and sports industry. And this was it. So made the product. Absolutely. And everything that's worth it is man, it takes time and it takes hustle and it takes a lot of work. And, I went on this journey and took about 3 to 4 months just to get prototypes that I thought were good enough. And lucky enough to get about 25,000 in sales before I approached Shark Tank with this pitch and the video, and then was able to actually get onto Shark Tank in month 6 of the business.
What was the most difficult part with just starting this foundation?
Man, the most difficult by far is just getting it out there. You think you have the greatest thing ever, right? You're like, man, this shaker bottle is so cool. It can do it all. It's going to solve all these problems. But, at the end of the day, no one's ever heard of it. No one trusts it. And, they've never seen it before. And then when they hear about it, they're like, man, I don't know what that is. He's just pushing another product like another athlete does. So, at first I thought I was just going to be able to throw some social media posts up, figured like, hey, if 1% of my following buys it, I'll be crushing it. Right. Mm-hmm. And it was more like, hey, I threw a couple posts up and I think I had 1 or 2 sales the first week with the bottle. So that's when I realized, man, that this is going to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And that's when I started having to, figure ways out to get in front of people. Let's go to shows. Let's compare it to the other bottles out there. Let's hand it to people with ice in it and show them that, it's not going to be cold on the outside. It's going to be insulated. It's going to keep the drink cold all day. And the grind just started, man. And I went from being this, this guy that hated selling and never wanted to push product to hey, I have to do this if I want to get it out there.
What advice can you give young entrepreneurs about overcoming adversity and just making it happen?
Yeah, man. I think that's one of the biggest problems right now is really just figuring things out, man. Everything's so easy now, right? It's so instant. Man, if I have an issue, I'll just go to YouTube or Google and I'm going to figure it out. So my advice, man, is first off, you better be super passionate about what you do because there are going to be so many problems. This is going to be a roller coaster ride, man. You're going to have so many ups and downs and you're going to have this huge sale one week and, the next week your sales are going to suck and it all falls on you. And so with that, if you don't love it, you're going to give up on it and you're going to give up on it too early. If you do love it, when those lows come, you're going to find ways to fix it. When those highs come, you're going to find ways to get even better. And so you have to be super passionate about what you're doing or you're just going to give up on it.
Outside of Tampa Bay, what other teams are you looking at? Because we already know you got to support your brother out there.
Yeah, man. It's hard not to. I'm obviously cheering for them. I've been really a fan of the game ever since I played it. So, I went to 4 different teams. My brother's now on 2 different teams. My other brother, Dan, he played on 4 different teams. And my brother, Glenn, played on 2 as well. So you really become a fan of everybody, man. To make it to that level, to grind it out. And, you just get this respect for every player and every team is good. You don't play a guy that sucks. He's one of the best players in the world at his position. That's why he's there. He was the best player in high school. He's the best player in his college team. And he's now one of the best players in the world. And you're facing him. So, maybe the team doesn't have it figured out that week, but you never have an easy week, especially as a fullback. So I've always had respect for every team and any team, man, can win on any given day in the NFL.
I agree. So who's your Super Bowl picks?
Man, I mean, I'm hoping, this is what I'm thinking, man. 2020 has been a crazy year. And with that, this season is, it's hosted, the Super Bowl is hosted in Tampa. And there's never been a host team that's made it to the Super Bowl. But this is one of those years where you're like, nothing is going how you think it's going to go. Right? Nothing's been by the books. And so, man, for that reason and how they're playing now and how they're meshing, I think I got to go with Tampa. No matter what, man. Obviously, I have a little bias to it as well, but definitely go with Tampa. And, man, I mean, other teams are looking really good. KC, man, they're going to be there. They're going to at least have a chance. Seattle's looking really good as well. And, man, Big Ben's got some magic left as well. So I think you got to keep an eye on all 4 of those teams.
Okay, so if you had an opportunity to build around a quarterback, who would you pick? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson.
Wow, man. I mean, I think the obvious choice is got to be Brady when you got 6 rings and now he's in a new city and looking like he can do it again. Man, but I mean, I'm super impressed with Mahomes as well. It's a guy that I think is going to be amazing forever. And he signs this massive contract. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about is when you sign for that much, it's hard to then bring talent in around you. And so that's a tough situation. So sometimes a player is so good, he gets paid too much and, he doesn't look like he's performing as well, but he just doesn't have the talent around him. So, man, I wish that he would look at it, and I understand the money thing, but some guys in what I think why Brady has been so successful, why he has 6 rings, is because he never took that huge payday. And so he was always able to have talent around him, even though it's not necessarily always been on offense, but he's always left money for guys to come in.
Before COVID hit, I know we had the XFL. What is your perspective about the XFL, and do you think it's going to grow as it once did this year? So, man,
I mean, it's completely shut down right now, right? At this point. So I think they did it right this time, though. And, instead of trying to go against the NFL, they're trying to build with them. And I think that's the right play. I also think it's super entertaining. And every year the NFL seems to pull something out of the XFL or one of the rules or the cameras or something like that because man, it is more entertaining. And if you can make that more mainstream, the NFL is going to take it and they're going to run with it if it does well there. So I think there's a good opportunity. I think Vince McMahon is super smart, obviously. And when you foul at something once, it's just a great stepping stone to get better. And he wouldn't have came back a second time if he didn't think it was going to be successful. So I think it will do well. Hopefully, COVID goes away and gives them that opportunity to get back to where they were.
And my last question is, how has football molded you into the individual that you are today?
Yeah, that's really, I get a similar question to this. Is kind of like, hey, would you let your kids play football? And my answer is always yes, because it isn't just the game. It's everything that you learn from it. And for me, it's that discipline, it's that hard work, but it's also more than that, man. I think multitasking was huge for me throughout college. To be able to go to school, also go to practice, workouts, all that, and still get all your homework done and have an A in your classes is super, super impressive. And you learn that by going through college and playing football as an athlete. And then the last thing, man, and one of the biggest things I think is teamwork. Teamwork shows up everywhere in life after sports. It's a different form. It's in a business form, or it's in all different types of shapes and forms. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You have a goal and you're playing as a team and you're trying to win a championship or build a business or hit this goal. So it's all the same stuff. It's just learned in a different manner. So it actually took me a little while to realize that with my business, but it's probably one of the greatest things that you can learn as an athlete as well.
Amen. Thank you for joining me on the show. Before I let you go, can you tell my fans and viewers where we can find your product at?
Yeah, for sure, man. You can find me at Chris Gronkowski on social, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm all over TikTok now as well. And then the products, Ice Shaker. So iceshaker.com. We're also in Vitamin Shop, GNC, Lifetime Fitness, and some grocery stores now as well. So products should be popping up everywhere.
Amen. Amen. Thank you again for joining me, and definitely have a blessed one, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. All right.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too.